build their program with those guys, within 30 miles, to be honest with you.
Norris trying to come back.
Saves a lot of expenses in recruiting. Traveling and flying and driving and all that stuff. What's that?
Norris trying to come back.
He's going to try. Yeah, he's going to try to make a comeback. He's been working on it, and we're going to actually start putting him in the green and start putting him back into some drill work and see how he does. So, he's going to be a senior, and I'm hoping that I hope he can come back and make some kind of contribution, even if it's the last 3 or 4 games. I don't know. We'll just see. But he's going to give it a go.
Dabo, you talked earlier about the importance of getting some pressure on Ja'Cory Harris, and that how important has DeQuan been this year? It seems like he's off to a fast start. Have you noticed the level of his play taking a step up this year?
Yeah, DeQuan has come to play. He really has. He's taken to heart things that we talked about in the spring, things we talked about this summer and in fall camp. I know where he wants to be, where he wants to go, and the level that he's capable of playing at. And and he's been a good player. I mean, expectations. He'll never live up to his expectations, that other people have for him. He's a very talented guy, and he came in here with really high expectations, and he's done some really good things. But he has not been dominant every week like we think he's capable of being. He's been good, but not a dominant player every game. And and we've talked about why. He's taken a lot of those things into account, and he's worked on it. He's gotten his body in great shape. He was almost 290 last year. He's around 272, 273, and he's got his mind right, and he's healthy. He was got a little banged up last year, but he's just very focused on being a great player and doing what it takes to be great. And I'm proud of him. We've had 3 ball games. He's been player of the game twice, and he is been dominant. And I think that's what he's capable of doing to the point where they're going to try to identify where he is and stay away from him. And so I think that he's on his way to having a great year, and I'm just, again, real proud of him. He's had a difficult fall so far, camp and about the last 7-8 weeks or whatever, and I'm just real proud of how he's handled it. Sometimes things like that happen in our lives, you can respond one way or the other. And I think it's been he's responded the right way, and it's been fuel for him, and hopefully he'll continue to play like that.
Dabo, you talked about establishing the run, and you said you weren't going to be the village idiot. And do you think because of the success Andre and Jamie have had, people are going to start focusing a lot more on stopping them?
I would. They'd be the village idiot if they don't. Those are good players. And I would think if you're getting ready to play Clemson, you would you'd want to try to do anything you could to slow down 23-8. They've been really good players for 3 games, and that's what we got on film. So, but again, coaches they see things a little differently than other people, and they know we got some other good players running around on that field. I guarantee you, and they know we got a good guy under center. I think will create some problems for people as we continue to move forward. But we certainly are going to do everything we can to establish the running game every single week. There's different ways to go about that, but every single week we'll try to create opportunities for those guys.
What's the reason for Ellington's yards per carry? Because he's way up there again. I know it's only 3 games, but he's like over 7 a carry. Is that extra effort? Is he getting the right holes? He's
just a talented back. He's a very, very good player. He rushed for 140-something yards on Auburn's defense, which is a really good defense. And he breaks tackles. He has great vision. One of the things, too, about Andre, he played in the zone scheme his whole high school career. So, when we got him, it was like his 5th year of this system. They ran this system, so most of what we do at high school from a zone standpoint, and he can see it. He can smell it. And then he has the ability to redirect without slowing down. I mean, he never slows down. He just kind of glides, and then he's physical enough to where he breaks tackles. I mean, you'd look at him and not think that he would be as physical a runner, but he is a downhill runner that can redirect and change direction going full speed. And that's a difficult combination. You know, he's got speed to go with it, and a tough guy. Loves it. You know, he loves it. You just keep getting it to him. And, you know, Jamie's the same way. So, I mean, we got a good combination with those guys. But he's one of those guys that I think will always have a high yards per carry.
Is that his best attribute, is his vision, I guess, from what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no question. And just being able to set his blocks up. You know, he's very disciplined with his running. You know, you very seldom do we see him on film make a bad cut or you know, cut on air, not press the block properly, not read the right thing. I mean, he's very disciplined when it comes to that. And then when he sees a slither, he is, boom, explosive, very explosive with short bursts. You know, he's much more explosive in short space than he is maybe top end running away from a guy like a CJ, for example. He's just a really determined runner.
Given all that, is he a better running back than CJ? What?
It'd be hard for me to say that. Ask me that 2 years from now. You know, CJ is I would say at this stage he's a better running back. His sophomore year, he's a better pure running back. CJ, like Jamie, played in the wing T. You talking about completely different universes. And CJ had a lot to learn when he came here trying to learn how to be a true tailback. He had a lot to learn. You know, sometimes he was too fast. You know, he didn't understand a lot of times as far as what he was trying to set up, what he was looking at. He'd bounce everything, or a lot of times he'd stop his feet in the hole, and you know, all kind of things that he had to really learn and grow into. And same thing with Jamie. And but when it was all said and done, I think we had a pretty good finished product in C.J. Spiller. But as a sophomore, as far as just a true running back, I would say, yeah, he's a better sophomore running back, pure running back, understanding, you know, what he's being asked to do. But I don't know if we'll ever have another one like that 28.
How can Jamie was in the wing T, like you just said. How can he have the hands that he had when he never had the football thrown to him in high school?
Played a lot of ball as a kid, you know, natural. You know, that's the best kind of guys, those guys that just have those natural hands. You know, it's like my boys. I got 3 boys, and, you know, these hands ought to be in the NFL. It's a dang shame. I mean, if I'd have had some feet to go with these hands, I'd be like Brett Favre. I'd still be playing. All right? You know, so, you know, your children are born, 3 boys, you know, and, you know, some of them just have it. You know, I mean, you just, it's amazing. I think you can get better. You can develop good hands and better ball skills. But like Will, for example, that sucker can catch anything. I mean, he always has been. I mean, just, you know, I mean, I never do anything. I mean, he's just born that way. Drew, he's had to work at it. He's really had to work at it, and he catches the ball well, but it's not as natural. And Clay, it's easy for him. So it's unique. And so some kids just, you know, Jamie's just one of them guys I think that was born with good hands and a bulldozer body. You know, he just got it. You know, whereas Andre, flip side of that, he doesn't have as good a hands as Jamie, and has had to really work on it. That's a part of Andre's game that he's had to really work on to improve. He's not bad, but it hasn't been as natural for him as Jamie, and it's just one of those things. I think you again can continue to improve, but the best catchers are guys that it's very natural to them.
So any of your boys in the receiver rotation this week?
Not yet. Not yet.
Their big mountain of offensive lineman Henderson, I think he was working with their first team this week in practice.
Well, they're talent. You know, they took their 2 starting guards last year have been playing tackle for them, and but you know, the transfer kid you're talking about there, don't know a whole lot about him other than he's a big body, highly recruited guy that has a lot of talent, but you know, just don't have a lot of film yet.
Is the pass rush going to be the key for y'all stopping them this week?
Affecting the quarterback, we're trying to make them one-dimensional, and then really getting after their quarterback and hopefully creating some opportunities for our secondary. Maybe make him throw it a little bit sooner than he'd like to, or maybe make him be a runner, where we have the opportunity to you know, because he wants to sit in there. He wants to sit in there, and he wants to throw the football on time, and so just disrupting that comfort zone is definitely a key for us. And then just make them earn it. You know, if they can put a 12-play drive together, hey, come on over. We'll tip our hat to them. Come on over and we'll regroup. But let's don't just give up the big play. Guy makes a great catch. He makes a great catch, but it's where a guy just, you know, makes a bust, and you know, 10 other guys doing their job, and it's a 60-yard gain. That's where we got to be more disciplined, and I think that'll be a big part of it.
Is it hard to go from you had to keep your players to be disciplined in the way they defended Cam Newton to now you got to be disciplined in a different way, the way you defend Corey?
Yeah, different guys, completely different animals here. You know, but the objective is the same. We got to affect the quarterback. Just different ways of doing it. Different things you got to be more conscious of, you know, with these guys.
Anything else?
Yeah, Dabo, with so many bowls out there, 35 bowls now, I guess the NCAA is talking about perhaps relaxing that 6-win rule at maybe 5 and 7 teams so they can fill all the slots out there. Would you be in favor of something like that? If
not my neck of the woods. You know, I just want to win and make sure that we're in a bowl. I mean, that's for other people to worry about. That seems a little odd to me, but you could have a losing season and go to a bowl game. But you know, I wouldn't feel really good about going to a bowl with a losing season at Clemson, South Carolina. And I'm sure our fans weren't either.
Coach, did you watch games on Saturday? I'm just kind of
Oh
curious.
yeah. Oh yeah.
What'd you see?
Well, I saw a lot of good games. You know, I watched Alabama, Arkansas. That was a dandy. Watched Auburn, South Carolina. Watched a little bit of Georgia, Mississippi State. Watched some Georgia Tech, NC State. Who else did I see? Tried to play and spend some time with the boys. We had our own little game there for a little while, and it was a good day. It was a good day. And again, you know, I'm more encouraged than discouraged when I watch other teams play and what we have here. I think you know, we have a good reason to be optimistic here and hopeful for a very good year.
You've seen them on film against Ohio State. Does that kind of fortify some of what you're saying? Because Ohio State's considered arguably one of the 2 best teams.
Yeah, Ohio State's very good. Very, very good. They matched up well, better versus their speed this year. It was something that was good to see. That, you know, but to be honest with you, without the special teams, it would have been a different, you know, not as close a ball game. Ohio State is very, very good. That quarterback is pretty special. He made a lot of big plays, you know, just on his own, you know, that hurt Miami. But the big punt return and the kick return that they had, that kept them in the ball game early. And but without that, it would have been a long day, I think.
Benjamin is a returner. A couple big plays in that Ohio State.
Dangerous. Number 3, number 6. Those guys can do it. I mean, they are very dangerous. 6 is their kick return guy, and I think he's a redshirt freshman. He can fly. They're number 1 in the conference, and probably right there I would think they'd be top 5 in the nation with their averages in kick return and punt return. So that's a huge challenge, I think, for both